Welcome to We're Talking Bears, the show where uncle, nephew, and son bring you the latest in the Chicago Bears experience. I'm Uncle.
I'm nephew.
I'm son.
We're
We're
talking
talking
Bears.
bear.
And it's one hell of an experience, man. I wouldn't call it a great experience, but Jesus Christ, this is an experience. It's an experience. And it's tough, man. It's tough. And I know every year we go through this. Every year we say this, we get our hopes up. But I got a different take today. I'm starting to
Okay.
believe all of these coaches, Ryan Poles, I think they're like double agents who are colluding against the Bears. I think they're all friends and they're making sure that we don't do well. I just heard that it's official. They're moving the Bears out of Chicago to Arlington. And I think this is just a big ploy to make the Bears be terrible in Chicago so that there'll be no argument for why they should stay. And that the fans can all be disgruntled and say to hell with them. And then they leave and go to Arlington. And then they start playing real football like they're a professional team. Call me crazy, call me skeptic, conspiracy theorist. I don't care. There's something going on because for a moment last night in the game, I could have swore that Eberflus was back. I don't know what the hell was going on, but we were supposed to have a good offensive coach who was supposed to help us elevate on offense. And after that first drive, Eberflus was here again. I didn't see him, but I know he was. I could smell him.
Spirit of Floose. Hey, hey, hey. That sucked. I mean, honestly, when you recap it, I mean, first drive, great drive. Okay. Bring our hopes up, make us feel like something's about to happen, right?
No, it did.
Right. Then just man, old bear. You know what it felt like? It felt like prevent offense. Y'all heard of prevent defense. This felt like prevent offense. Just take your time and make it through to the end of the game, and something will be okay. It didn't feel, they didn't have any urgency until that last drive. And then all of a sudden, there's this fire and urgency. But I'm gonna tell you this, recapping it. One of my guys at work uh, was talking about, and he brought up a point nobody else has brought up, right? Why don't you kick the ball out of bounds on the kickoff? If you kick it into the end zone and they kneel it, you get it at the 35. If you kick it out of bounds, you get it at the 40. The 5 yards is irrelevant. The point is you wanted that clock not to tick. You wanted the extra 45 seconds. So you would have had almost a full minute. You'd have had almost a full minute, which gives you a chance to get in the field goal range and tie it. If you kick it out of bounds, they can't return it. It
I
doesn't matter
mean,
where it goes. Just kick it out of bounds at the 30.
do you
And
just?
that
I mean, don't
and
you try an onside kick sometimes?
well, yeah, but then we didn't have enough timeouts because first of all, we went after the call that clearly was we weren't going to overturn it. That was clear. The man's knee was on the ground. I'm not going
When
to
you
throw
say
that flag.
timeouts, I'm confused.
Okay, we lost a timeout because of the challenge. We
Right.
challenged a play where um, uh, um, I forgot who it was, but his knee was on the ground, and we punched the ball out. Right? The rookie came, not the rookie, the second year linebacker came in and punched the ball out.
So
So,
yeah,
But his knee was on the ground.
right.
If your knee is on the ground, all I have to do is touch you and you're down.
Yeah, they're not overturning that.
So the minute contact was made with him, he's down. So anything that happens after that is irrelevant, right?
Right.
yep.
They weren't
So
going to
you
overturn.
you threw away a timeout there, okay? Um, don't know what happened to our other timeout, but I'm pretty sure it was just some mismanagement that occurred. Then you get down, so you have one timeout and the 2 minute warning. You actually scored the touchdown, leaving a couple seconds. You have to have the 2 minute warning happen on first down. which means you can execute your timeout on second down, which means they can only burn the next 45 seconds, which means you have a full minute left. But they kick the ball deep into the end zone and the guys bring it out. And we weren't even standing there. What was special? What was our team doing? The ball goes all the way into the end zone, and the guys are jogging down the field. They could have at least tackled them at the one, forcing them to do something. But that's stupid. The $1 million move is to kick the ball out of bounds. You kick the ball out of bounds, they get it on the 40. If you get your 3 and out, you got the ball back with a minute left. And I trust Caleb and them to get a field goal in a minute. Santos misses a 50, just misses it. Come on, man. It was a team loss. The defense gives up 21 in the fourth. Come on, man. It was the offense scores a touchdown at the beginning and you just can't muster points, but 3 points for almost 3 full quarters. We've seen that before. It was just done the opposite way last year. Well, the first 3 quarters, we get 1 point a quarter, and then in the fourth quarter, we want to try to score. It's not acceptable, man. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable, and I can't believe with all of these new players and this entire new regime, a new coaching staff, that we get out-coached and end up with the same garbage. It stresses the point that I once heard made, that it's the organization. The organization makes great people mediocre. And bad people mediocre. Makes just everybody mediocre. What you gonna say?
We're moving to Arlington. Collusion. There's not. You can't convince me. These guys don't care. They don't want to play football. They don't want to win in Chicago because they're moving. And now that we know that's official, I know they don't want to do anything good in Chicago. What this reminds me of is the Chicago Cubs. Cubs grew up to be Bears. And what this makes me believe is that the same curse that the Cubs had from 1908 to 2016 is the curse the Bears have right now.
I like your sentence. Cubs grow up to be Bears. And
you can always get new Cubs. Yeah, baby Cubs. You can get some new ones of those, and they might turn out to be.
This is just an embarrassing.
But bad Cubs are just going to be bad Bears.
Look, we had more passing yards. Caleb outrun Mason. DJ Moore had more yards receiving than Aaron Jones. We just gave up 3 touchdowns in the fourth. You can't give up 3 touchdowns in the fourth.
You also just can't go. I agree with that completely, but you just can't go dead from an offensive standpoint. Like, who the hell is Ben Johnson supposed to be? We didn't produce anything. The defense scored the second touchdown. The offense can only put up a touchdown on the first drive and can't do anything else. Who the hell is DeAndre Swift? Nobody. He can't do anything. Why do we have him? Why do we even have a running back? Let's just go empty set because he does nothing. He's useless. I don't know, is it the play calls, but he did nothing. He had about 15 carries for 16 yards. It's ridiculous. Every time he gets the ball, he goes nowhere. The furthest he gets is back to the line of scrimmage. I do not understand. What is Ben Johnson here for?
It wasn't that bad. It was 17 carries for 53 yards.
Man,
not good.
That's not what, 3.1? You get almost
20. 3.1. You almost get 20 carries. You should be nearing 100 yards.
He was near the line of scrimmage on most of those carries. That's what he was doing.
Yeah.
You remember just late in the game, I think it might have been the third or the fourth quarter. It was like it was his longest run of the game. It was for 11 yards. Think about it.
Yeah.
If you got 57, he had a couple runs late in the game for like 8 and 12. That's half your yards. Almost.
Well, here's my other problem with play calling. You had 1 reception for Cole Kmet. 1. Are you trying to intentionally push him out of his job, then you should have just traded him
They
and
want to
got
lose.
value for him.
Yes.
Right. But
Unless you don't
you
plan
only
on
threw it
winning.
to Coast, and I'm telling you, the one reception for Cole Kmet was phenomenal. But not only was it phenomenal, think about this. Here's a reception where if he didn't catch that ball, it would not have been considered a drop because that ball was so off target. It wouldn't have been considered a drop if he doesn't catch that ball. Right? Because he's diving, spinning, and extending his 6'5" frame to even reach the ball before it hits the ground.
He's
But he
6'6".
pulls it in. So you got a guy who can catch like that, who catches 85 to 90% of every pass that he's had in his career as a Bear, which is he's also the longest running Bear right now.
And we
Okay,
just
and
signed him.
and he and you get him one catch in a game where your offense is bogged down. He's actually your number one weapon because if you throw him the ball, you got a 90% chance he catches it. And if you just throw it to him outside of a first down marker, you continue your drive going. So, what kind of bad decisions are being made? This is the same, like you said, it was return of Flus. Here we are again, not using Kmet. He's going to have phenomenal numbers as far as percentages, but he's not going to have very many targets. This is ridiculous, and I'm frustrated. But when we talk about flat out missing Kmet, but he caught it anyway, let's talk about accuracy, son. What you got to say?
Don't even tag me in on this. I'm the wrong one.
I'm tagging you in accuracy.
Look, I seen something.
Accuracy.
I seen something yesterday that said in the last 18 weeks of football since Caleb Williams was drafted, he has missed more passes by overthrowing them than anyone in the league. He's number one, and he's not number one by like a slim margin. But I don't know who tracked this stat or whatever, so take it with a grain of salt. But they tracked 52 overthrows from Caleb Williams. The next highest was Daniel Jones at 35.
Ouch.
Right?
Daniel Jones sucks.
5 to 52. That's
Well,
not
he
even
had 3 or 4 yesterday for sure.
Oh yeah, he had more than that
Easy.
yesterday. I saw a compilation where, oh my God, it was gross. But
the
here's the
Kmet
problem.
catch was an overthrow. The
Kmet
Kmet catch was an overthrow.
Yes, but
It was an
specifically
overthrow.
tracking
He's just a
incompletions.
crazy athlete.
Yeah.
And he
was
missed him on
specifically
another
tracking
one where he didn't
incompletions.
catch it.
Yeah, there was another overthrow to Kmet over the middle. Now, that's one thing. If that data was in isolation, that'd be like whatever. That's basically meaningless, right? People overthrow, he misses high. Cool. But then you combine that with the fact that since Caleb Williams has been drafted, he has the lowest completion percentage, I think, over 10 yards. Not like 20 yards or 30 yards. 10 yards. Anything past 10 yards in the air. Caleb Williams has the lowest completion percentage and has maintained that since I think the stat has been tracked in the common era. So we're talking like since early 2000s. Like last place in passes that travel 10 yards. 10 yards is not a big bar to clear. I was hoping Ben Johnson's here. We'll see some immediate improvement there. I was hoping, maybe it's just his mechanics. He sets his feet, and he gets to actually hit what he's throwing at. But we're not seeing so far. It's just one game. We're not seeing nothing different yet. And that'd be one thing if you're throwing at Equinemius St. Brown and Chase Claypool and man, who was the slot receiver for those years? I don't even remember. Velus Jones. One thing if you're throwing at these guys and your completion percentage is really low over 10 yards, but you're throwing to DJ Moore and Roma Dunze and Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland and Luther Burden and Olamide Zacchaeus,
Right.
and like, what's the problem? You can't hit these guys. They're wide open. They're wide open.
Didn't I say Olamide? I said he was nice.
He's good. Yeah, he's good. He's
I said
good.
he's nice.
You can hit him with the ball. But right now, that's the problem that we have, is that we can't throw the ball. Now, is he good on short stuff when he gets the ball out quick and he gets these short completions and he knows where he's going? Yeah, it looks nice when he does it like that. It looks nice when it's scripted and Ben Johnson has told him before the game starts where to throw the ball and who to throw it to. That's fine. Is he a young quarterback? Very much so. Very much so. He's in his second year. But the rest of the team isn't going to wait for him to figure out how to hit the broadside of a barn. Everybody else ain't getting younger as we've burned years doing this. And it's not like he jumped in and he was the first person. Like, this team is built to win. The offense, at least, is, well, except for the running back position. We'll get to that in a minute.
I was about to say.
But the rest of the offense is built to win. The weapons, even the offensive line, was fairly good from what I saw. Like, he wasn't really – like, they were sending the house at him over and over and over again. And the fact that he wasn't beating the blitz that's a different concern, because Swift was open in the flat 40 times, like uncovered open in the flat. But they were sending zero pressures. They were doing crazy exotic schemes. Credit to Brian Flores. He does what he does. He's really good at it. But
let me jump in on that. Only 2 sacks, correct? Williams only got sacked twice.
Yes, but he also did do a diving, flopping fish drop to the ground. That I thought.
That was one of his sacks.
I thought that was an intentional.
One of his sacks was a thing.
It was.
That was intentional grounding.
Okay.
Then that would have been a sack, but then one time he just stepped out of bounds. So that 2 sacks were on. He got sacked twice. He got sacked twice. The one where he stepped out of bounds, that's not the offensive line's fault.
Cool. An improvement.
Even if they caused him to run.
70 sacks last year.
Drastic improvement at protecting a quarterback.
Yeah. Well,
drastic
we went from 5 sacks a game to 2 sacks. So big improvement from the O-line.
That's huge.
Except for Jonah Jackson. Let's be honest. He looks horrible. But overall, offensive line protected him well. He had a decent pressure rate, but nothing that we haven't seen before. Nothing we haven't seen before. It was a very aggressive, blitz-heavy defensive look. So, yeah, you're going to get pressured, right? Here's my problem. We didn't need to reset the quarterback development timetable, and we did. We have the weapons. We mostly have the protection at this point. Obviously, again, just one game, but 2 sacks in the face of that rush is not bad.
Not bad.
We don't have a running game. Why that is, we could discuss, but
we gave away David Montgomery. We gave him away when he walked out the door.
We gave away Khalil Herbert, and we haven't drafted a running back. We haven't drafted a running back above the 5th or 6th round since David Montgomery. So yeah, of course your running game is going to be terrible. We're not the Chiefs. Yeah. It's easy to get away with the 7th round running back as your starter when you have Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes, or whoever the heck else is split out wide, Travis Kelce, all pro linemen everywhere, and a established offensive system that everybody's been in for 5 or 6 years. But right now we don't have the talent in the backfield to just like really pound the ground game.
We don't have the talent we used to have before we just decided we didn't want them.
No, agreed. I know. We just gave away Montgomery. We just gave away all kinds of
Herbert and Montgomery,
Herbert. Yeah.
Thunder and Lightning. We gave them away.
Yep. So when we take all that into account, where are we? Oh, and then let's talk about the luxury pick at tight end when we have holes all over the roster. Let's talk about the luxury pick at tight end when everybody else is filling tackles and corners and edge rushers and all this other stuff that, man, it'd be really nice to have right now. We've got a backup tight end with the 10th pick in the draft.
Wait. So the guy that we didn't throw the ball to either when we decided not to throw it to Komet?
He caught a couple of passes. It just wasn't.
He caught 2 passes for less
it
than
was
20
a luxury pick. We took a luxury pick, 10th overall, when we don't have a winning roster. So when you start to add all these things up, then who do we point that finger at?
Pose.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Like the things that he better hope to the high heavens that Ben Johnson is as advertised and he can drag this team to a decent, if not winning record.
Can I just
Ben Johnson is coach of the year? Because if he can't, then his seat is going to be real hot, even though he just signed that extension. Because
look. I just want to scream at running back for 1 second.
Go ahead.
One scream. How many touchdowns has Demo had since he left Chicago in the past 2 seasons?
Like 30?
25. That's all. 25 touchdowns. What does 25 touchdowns do for our record?
I mean,
over the past 2 years.
I would argue that the third down runs where he bounces off a guy like a bowling ball in the backfield and then still picks up the first would do even more for our record than that. But yes, 25 touchdowns.
25 right. And we don't need it. I hate that attitude. If you're going to don't give away. I wouldn't have paid for Michael Parsons. I love what Michael Parsons was able to do. He foiled Detroit's first game, right? I respect his game, but I wouldn't have paid $190 million for him. That wasn't the problem with Demo. We paid more for Swift than Demo got. I'm pretty sure that's correct. Somebody check my stat.
Yes, we did. We paid $24 million for Swift, which is $8 million a year. Demo got $18 million, I want to say, so that's $6 million a year.
More for Swift. Is Swift better than
significantly worse running back? I'm not no questions.
It's not even close.
I can't think of anything Swift does except hurdle people better than Demo.
Swift is better at hurdling.
That's it.
Honestly, I don't want my running back hurdling because I don't remember the name of the cat, but remember the Bears had a breakout running back in his first year with the team. I don't know if it was rookie year or not. The guy hurdles somebody, destroys his knee, and he's done for his career. He didn't last but a few weeks. It was incredible. He tried to hurdle and he got snagged and flipped and boom, and that was the end of his career. You're like, I don't need you to hurdle. I need you to pick up yards. Man, I can't remember, but I remember like just the feeling of, wow, we got a run game. Ooh, it's gone. Just like that. Because the guy was hurt. He was hurdling somebody like heading towards out of bounds. It was totally pointless. It was just being cool. But it wasn't cool. And it was terrible for him. But I mean, bottom line, I'm gonna stop my ragging on this situation. But you can't continually give away the better player and pay more for the guy doing less.
I agree.
Recipe for disaster.
I agree, but I mean, I don't blame Demo for wanting to leave.
I don't think he wanted to leave.
I recall quote. He said they took the fun out of football when he was talking about the Bears organization. He said playing football wasn't fun in Chicago. And that's
Not surprised.
what do you say to that? What do you say to that?
I'm
Who
sorry.
do you right? Who do you go to correct that? That's at the top of your organization, all the way down,
I'll tell
all the
you,
way
just
down,
go to Arlington.
right?
Go to
And
Arlington.
here's
They don't know.
and here's my biggest problem, right? Here's my biggest problem with the way that we're running things right now. And I'm not trying to make wild declarations after 1 week, but you guys know what I predicted for the season. And I tried to come with the optimism, like, oh, we're gonna win today anyway. No. I knew what was up, man. I knew in the second quarter we weren't gonna win this game. I was texting people. I have text message receipts showing my lack of trust in the Bears winning last night's game. I got receipts. So the fact is, we are not on the right path. We're not taking the North. And there, if you don't take it, ain't no giving it back. If we did take it accidentally, we would give it back.
We're giving it away because that was our game to lose.
Giving it away.
We're actively giving it away. We didn't throw to our tight ends, are not significantly. One catch for Komet for 30-odd yards. Well, that's hey man, that's enough. No. 2 catches for Colston for less than 15. Not enough. And then, does anybody remember a good screen pass we ran? Tight end or running back? Not a wide receiver screen. It's too obvious, especially when you need DJ, when DJ and Rome draw so much attention. I want them flying deep when I throw DeAndre screen. That's probably going to be his best play because he's not good getting out of the backfield. If you could get him a screen, some blockers, and a little bit of space, he might surprise you. But I mean, we're not going to screen the ball. But that's all we needed to do against when they started blitzing like crazy. Throw some screens, a few draw plays. What do you do against the blitz? Screens, draws. Let's go. This is football, man. It ain't changed that much. It ain't changed that much.
I agree. But here's the thing. At what point do we look at ourselves and say, okay, in whose vision are we building this team? Who is the person that is making the decisions that at first I thought, hey, we're going to be ahead of the curve when it comes to the NFL because we drafted a bunch of defensive backs when we really needed them and everybody was throwing the ball. I was like, yeah, we're going to need those defensive backs, and Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker and all these guys, they're actually really good.
They're good.
When they're on the field, they're really good. But on the offensive side of the ball, we're in the past. We're not doing what the best teams in the league are doing. We don't have a Derrick Henry or a Lamar Jackson or a Saquon Barkley, or we don't have anybody on the ground who strikes fear into the defense, into the opponent's heart. Like we don't really even have like a James Cook, who's a guy who's just absolutely electric every time he touches the ball.
What did I say last year after we let go of Montgomery? What did I say 2 years ago? And last year when the free agent market was open, I said, give me Henry, Saquon, or Josh Jacobs.
They weren't coming here, man. They would have if Justin was still here. I will say that because I think Saquon said specifically he wanted to play with Justin. But other than that, they weren't going to come here. Why would Derrick Henry come and spend the last years of his career not chasing a ring when he could just do it with Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, that's all they're going to be doing because they choke a lot in Baltimore.
Oh, and he was the one that choked, actually. This past week.
Well, it wasn't. Hey, he's not the only. Many a time it wasn't him. Last year in the AFC conference, they wouldn't give him the ball. and they
I just
choke.
meant this season opener. He
Right. Season opener, they give him the ball and he chokes. Baltimore is good at choking. They get a great record and they choke.
Touche. I think Josh Allen just played a seminal game of football, but
he did. But if he doesn't
Is he
throw
from
that ball,
Florida?
a little bit of both. A little bit of both. Now, all I'm saying here is the best teams in the league right now are moving in a direction that once again we are not moving. Strong run games. Strong run game won the Super Bowl last year.
Woo!
A top 3 running back, a top 3 overall pick running back, Saquon Barkley, was the league's MVP. Or at least should have been. He was definitely the best offensive player or the best player in the league last year. Not a question, right? So, and we're just still relying on scraps at the position because we undervalue it. So it just strikes me that we're building so much in the Chiefs' blueprint that we're refusing to just recognize what we're actually already good at and instead trying to throw that away in favor of rebuilding it in the likeness of the Chiefs.
Right, but we're missing something critical that the Chiefs have.
Are you talking about good leadership, coaching, a generational quarterback? Are you talking about all-pro linemen? Are you talking about a championship caliber defense? Are we talking about defensive ends that actually back the quarterback? Are we talking about Chris Jones from the D tackle position? What are we talking about? What are we missing?
I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes because he's the constant. When the line sucked, they made it to the Super Bowl.
That's not how this works, man.
When the line sucked, they made it to the Super Bowl. When Nagy came back to call the plays and the offense lost 10 points a game, they made it to the Super Bowl.
When did the line suck?
The line sucked when they faced the Buccaneers. The line was terrible.
Okay. So back in, what was that, like 2020 or 2021, when you're talking about when there he goes. I'll wait for him to come back because I need him to hear this part because I'm about to cook him.
I cried. Shit is disgusting, man. I can't.
We should all just have a day of mourning, and then just move on from whatever this is. Because
I'm gonna start calling them the Arlington Bears.
The Arlington Bears. Where's your video, Pops? All right, there you go. Look. Anyway, I held this comment.
My bad.
No, you're good.
Hey, defense. Let me finish. Go ahead.
I said I held this comment just for you to come back. I was saying when Patrick Mahomes didn't have all-pro linemen at every position in front of him, you know what he did have? All-pro tight ends and receivers that would be open before it mattered. And he could just chuck it up there. And Tyreek Hill would run faster than everyone else and catch it and then be gone. So name me a series of 2 games in Patrick Mahomes' entire career where he wasn't playing with an all-pro in his supporting cast. At least 2. Name me 2 games that he's played without an all-pro. Can you do it? I don't think you can. So you want to talk about, they have the quarterback. No. The quarterback had them. He did. He always has. And he's had a Hall of Fame coach, and he's had a good to great defense the entire time. So when we don't have those things, it doesn't make sense to throw away what little we have in pursuit of just one piece of that puzzle. It's insane. It's insane. And I think we're doing this all wrong. And I like Ryan Poles as a guy, but he needs to either fix this or move the heck on because it is not working.
I'm ready for him.
Not working.
And I'm not gonna lie, man. When Caleb got here, I was on Justin. I didn't want Caleb. I don't think he's bad. I don't dislike him. But if we can't run the football, I don't think he's got what it takes for them to know, like, we're passing the ball. He's got to get it done. He doesn't seem to have that. Like, he doesn't seem to have that. I mean, he's young, like you said. This is just his second season, so yeah, it takes some time to get to reach those levels. But man, he misses passes. I just don't think he's built for the pressure. I don't think he has it, man. I do not think he has it. I think it'd be different if we even did still have a Demo or somebody who the defense could actually have to worry about, and just take some of that pressure off of Caleb. When our running back is running for no yards and he spends half the game trying to struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage, probably 10 to 12. How many carries you said he had? 17. I'm willing to bet 10 or 11 of those carries went for 0. I might be wrong, but he wasn't getting much.
One or two,
maybe not 10 or 11, but at least 5 to 7 carries went for nothing, like absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
maybe tackles for losses, but he didn't get any yards. And it's just like, I don't know what we can expect for Caleb when the defense knows the run game isn't gonna work. It's going nowhere.
And we just don't got. Look, in football, like I understand you got to get the right people. You got to get the locker room cohesive. All that matters. But you also need some dogs. You just need some straight, I don't care what you're trying to do. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to absolutely destroy you. Dogs. A Justin Jefferson type. I don't care who's covering me. I'm running through your secondary. And I think we got, running backs that will just over to the side, around you, through you. Linemen that will absolutely just disrespect you, your mama, your grandmammy, everybody on the way to burying you in the dirt. And it's like, yeah, you might have a guy or two with a mean streak, but man, I don't see a lot of dogs on this roster, man.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna say this.
Outperform.
Let me jump in with this. First of all, let's say this. Mahomes, like a great point guard in basketball, or let's just say great any guard, makes the people around him better. One of the things that Jordan had to do, Phil Jackson comes in, he's nobody, right? I mean, he had a decent career, but he was never the man. He was like a Steve Kerr. Phil Jackson comes in. Phil Jackson tells him, he tells him, you have to score less and make the people around you better. That's how you're going to, if you want rings. Mm-hmm. Score less and make the people, either you can get every MVP from here on out and no ring, or you can score less and make the people around you better. Look, as much as you want to say about Patrick, he makes the people around him better, because what do they look like when they leave? Now, at the same token, the problem is here in Chicago, we're making people look worse, because when Demo leaves, boom, his numbers explode. And that's not the story just for him. Player after player, when they leave Chicago, their numbers explode. Man, stop it. This is crazy. This is crazy. We have to be better, and we have to find people that make other people better. I'm going to say a sentence. Y'all, we need to talk about the defense. The defense did good for 3 quarters, and then it went dead. But the sentence is, Tyson Bagent starts that game. Do we win or not?
We win. I'm not going to – I was thinking that myself. And I hate to say this because, like I said, I don't want to just totally throw Caleb under the bus. I feel like the run game was terrible. I feel like the play calling was trash, horrendous, atrocious. Whatever negative words I can come up with is what I have to say about the play calling for most of that game. But it's just something about Bagent that I like. I think some of those passes that Caleb missed, Bagent would have made, unfortunately, because Caleb is our starter. But I don't know, man. It's always up in the air, and when you lose, it's easy for me at least, to step back and say, well, Bagent would have did, could have did, should have did. But I believe Bagent has some game. I believe he does have that dog in him that Brad is talking about. I don't think he's the greatest quarterback in the league, but I do think he has that attitude.
He's a dog
that a lot of guys don't have.
He may be the toughest quarterback in the league,
Oh, he's tough. He's tough.
He may be that West Virginia boy may be the toughest quarterback in the league, and that's what we need. We need some toughness as a football team.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go in here. I'm going here. I'm getting ready to be canceled. You cannot run around, play soft, miss people, wear fingernail polish, and lose.
That's not acceptable. I'm gonna add one more thing to
hell
that.
Out of here with that
when things don't go your way, sit there and huff and puff on the sideline. You can't do that either.
No. The opposite of what McCarthy did. Things weren't going his way for 3 quarters. And he's over there, hey, guys, come on. We're going to get a break. We're going to catch a break. Just hang in there.
Yeah, but this is the same stuff. This is the same stuff that I was talking about in the pre-draft process, man. This is the same dude that was crying in the stands after he lost the game.
We talked about this.
And you told me, oh, that's okay. He's just emotional about this.
No. Don't go there. I said you don't hire a quarterback who's crying in his mother's arms. Don't go there. Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Right. Long story short.
Don't you wish that even on me,
Long
Ricky?
Story short, the concerns that I had with that kind of grit were largely brushed away by yourself and other people who were supportive of the move. But
no, don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
I'm putting that on you. You brushed away a lot of concerns, saying we need to do what we need to do.
The best left tackle and keep Fields. I said
no,
you could trade back 3 offensive linemen and keep
After
Fields.
I argued with you all offseason, then you said that.
No,
look, I ain't trying to sit here and say, look,
I was never Caleb. I was never in his. He honestly, when I flipped into Caleb camp, was Green Bay in January. That's when I was like, oh, this looks good.
Look.
That's when I jumped in.
I started supporting Caleb when I realized that Justin was gone and he's our new quarterback. It's one of those things where it's like, hey, well, I lost a really nice car that I used to have, but if this is my car, I'm going to drive it.
Right.
That's not really the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is this. If he wants to succeed here in Chicago with this media and this fan base and people who are from this kind of gritty, tough city, you gotta be gritty and tough. Like, you can't be this.
You gotta win.
Gotta change.
Let's be honest. You gotta win. Win.
You definitely gotta do that. But you're not gonna get to win until you start doing these things differently. Until you have a little bit of sternness about your chin.
Hey, here's
your way.
Hey, here's Brandon with a question. Bears let a second-year rookie QB beat up the defense in the fourth quarter. Why?
That's a good one, man. I mean, I would like to say it's injuries, not having Jalen Johnson, not having Kyler Gordon, really let Justin Jefferson start to make a bit of an impact. They moved him around a lot. They were really creative with what they were doing with him. And I also want to say we didn't clamp down on Aaron Jones. Like, he made way too much of an impact, especially that.
It was Jordan Mason that was beating us up. Aaron Jones only got 2.9 a carry.
Yeah, but he caught a 27-yard touchdown pass, and he caught like 2 or 3 other passes out the backfield to get critical first downs. So
yeah,
we let,
from a receiving standpoint.
Yeah, so we let their running backs do too much work underneath, and we let their receivers do too much work over the top. At what point, what defense is left?
But wait, let me give you the stats. J.J. McCarthy throws for 143 yards. Jordan Mason runs for 68. Aaron Jones runs for 23. Justin Jefferson has 4 catches for 44 yards. Aaron Jones has 3 catches for 44 yards. They both have TDs. Hockenson has 3 catches for 15. The only one with a big yardage, it was Naylor, 1 catch for 28. These numbers are pathetic. If I told you those numbers, you'd never think that team won.
No, that's not true.
And scored
No. Because if you watch the Eagles versus Cowboys game, I want to say Devontae Smith had like 2 catches all game. AJ Brown had 1 catch in the fourth quarter, period, the whole game. Saquon had a couple short ones out the backfield. Like it wasn't a lot of. That's how you have.
After the rain stop. After the rain stoppage.
I mean, before the rain started.
No, before the rain stoppage, it was crazy.
Before the rain started in Brazil. Now, again, look, you have to be able to win like that. You have to be able to grind the ball on the ground, get the tough yards, play the field position game, because teams are not giving you anything over the top. It's not going to be a 360-yard, 390-yard unless there's blown coverages everywhere. And I would much rather see a loss with short freaking yardage stats from their receivers than a bunch of blown coverages. At least our safeties held up, but the corners didn't. The linebackers didn't.
But think about this. Look, it's just unfathomable the way we lost. It was so stupid.
So fathomable. It's super fathomable. What do you mean? I fathomed it in the second quarter. In the second quarter, I began to fathom. Like this is the way we've lost all of the games that we've lost for the last 6 years. It's the same loss. It's the same bitter, goofy, just absolute weak BS that we've seen for years on end.
We can't seal the deal. And we didn't seal the deal again.
We can't even continue the deal once we start off good. We get a good start. We get a hot start in the game. It's almost guaranteed we fall apart because we do not keep scoring. And in the few games that we do keep scoring, Flus and Nagy and all those guys managed to throw it away with time management, which Ben Johnson has just continued the tradition. So, like, at what point do we look up and say, like, how is this being taught to our guys from the top down? What is the selection criteria for the people who are the leaders of this team? Because I don't understand how we're seeing the same problems that Flus had in Ben Johnson.
With half of a different crew. I mean, 50% of these guys weren't here.
We got Dennis Allen, who is a super experienced freaking defensive coordinator, who has been a head coach, who I didn't notice any wild time management problems when I used to, when I would see old Saints games and stuff like in the last few years. I didn't notice that as the reason they were losing games. So why don't you just let him make the call? Be like, man, we really need to kick the ball out the side of the end zone right now. Nobody is making these decisions on the field, and apparently nobody is checking to see what these decisions are going to be when they're making these hires. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't understand how they keep doing this.
Man, well, I heard something again, back to my point of collusion and planning to lose on the radio, where they said something to the effect of the Bears will be moving to Arlington, where they're planning on building this elaborate new stadium and hopefully a Super Bowl by the year 2031. And I'm just like, what the heck? That's what I said.
Man.
I'm not going to lie. When you talk about from the top down, I don't think these guys are interested in winning at all. I don't think it's on their radar. I think we care as Bear fans.
We care. The stadium was packed.
I don't think they're planning to win. I don't think they give a damn. I think that the Ben Johnson coming from Detroit and the success they had, I think it looks good, sounds nice, but I don't think they actually really care.
The stadium was packed. Stadium was packed.
Of American democracy.
It always is.
Look, the stadium was packed, and the cheap seats were going for $230, $240.
Because they're good at
the
selling.
Stadium's packed, and the cheap seats are going for $2.5.
Honestly,
we're going to get the same product because that's what we're paying for. We're paying for it.
This is what I always said about the Cubs. The Cubs stadium is always packed. They would always pay for all those years, hundreds and hundreds or 100+ years of losing they were doing. The stadium was always packed. And that's what I said. When you're able to lose and you still have the same, there's no sense of urgency. Now, granted, in 106, 108, 110 years, they ended up winning. It's mathematics. You're not going to lose forever if you're lucky. I mean, but let's just be real. They didn't have a sense of urgency about winning. It wasn't like, oh, let's make sure so we don't lose our fans. We want people to still come to the games. Oh, they're going to come anyway. And unfortunately, that's how we are as Bears fans. We support the Bears like foolishly. It's like we're gonna support you anyway.
We're zealots.
And it's just ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. It's hard to be a Bears fan, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Of course, with every season, there's an optimism, especially when you see things changing and you're expecting at least to be more productive or get better in some areas, right? We didn't expect things to be perfect, but we expected to see improvement. To lose this game in the same old stinking Bears fashion that we've been losing for years and years and years, it just hurts so badly. I didn't even want to finish watching the game. When the score was 27-17, I stopped watching it. And I just looked at the stat line to come across my phone because I'm like, I can't even do this anymore. I can't even do this. It's like a real toxic relationship when you're like, you know what? I know I said vows, but I can't continue to do this. I have to walk away. It's unhealthy.
He keep beating us, man. What are we
I'm too young to be going through this. I'm going to find myself in the early grades trying to be
this, man. You keep watching the Bears.
He keep beating us, man. What we supposed to do?
Look. All right.
I got a black eye today. I got a bruised hip. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Detroit stunk it up last week. What happens next week?
Toilet bowl.
Right now it's the toilet bowl.
I don't even want to make a prediction because we're talking Bears for a few seasons now, and I feel like an idiot because I'm always going out here saying basically what we did in the beginning of that first drive. That's what I was talking about. But it doesn't continue. It doesn't continue. And I look like a fool because it's like, oh, yeah, what was that you were saying? And then I have to go around people in real life and renege on all the statements that I made or tell them like, well, at least there's flashes. It's terrible. I'm not used to this in Chicago. When we have good players on teams, even if we're not winning championships, when you have good players on teams, you can say, no, they're going to do well, and you expect them to go out there and do well, and the players you know are good, they do well. We don't get to do that with the Bears, man. It's like, what the hell do we got? What do we got? I don't know. It looks good. It sounds good. We paid a lot for it. We used a high draft pick for it. You expect to have something, and you don't have anything.
Hey, I'm going to say this.
And you're like, oh, how many books? And you're looking like, oh, yeah, I got a couple aces. I got, you know what I'm saying? You think you're doing well. And then they're cutting everything you got. It's like, between me and my partner, we didn't have anything. You all had all the spades.
Guy has from the two to the king, or two to the ace in spades. He's trying to beat him.
Right. It's like, man, I thought we had something. I didn't know me and my partner we didn't have any of the good stuff. You know
He's hitting you with the Ginsu knife, just cutting it all.
But that's again right to the top of the organization. Right to the why are our books empty? That's the question I got.
Because the bank account's full.
Why do we keep letting
the bank account's full?
We got salary cap spent. Like, we're spending money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're required.
No, I'm saying the bank account's full. We don't have a $50 million player like a lot of these teams. Some have multiple ones. Right. We don't have that. We're not spending that type of money. Again, the nosebleeds we're going for $250.
A $50 million player. The people got this so backwards, and I gotta correct it. A $50 million player doesn't make you a good organization.
No, but it makes you spend money. That's spending money.
It doesn't matter if you spend money. You can get in trouble spending money. We were spending $20 million a year on Khalil Mack when quarterbacks were making $20 million a year. Having a high-paid player is one thing, but what it is, if you are a good organization, you will make $50 million players. It's the other way around, and you can't buy your way out of mediocrity.
Look, we've done it before. I don't mean buy your way out of mediocrity. The reason we can sing the song of the 85 Bears is because 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, and 85, we drafted Hall of Famer almost every year. We drafted all pros every year. We
What you
drafted
did was you
pro
drafted
bowlers
talented
every
guys.
year.
What you did was you drafted talented guys, and then your coach knew how to put them in good situations.
Well, it was more than that. We drafted some of the best guys. I mean, you think about some of the Walter Payton from an all black college. You had to go find Walter Payton. You had to it wasn't a bad. Jim McMahon was out of Brigham Young. It wasn't like, oh my God.
If we don't have all these talented players, then why did you just say a minute ago that when people leave the Bears, then suddenly they do great?
No. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you don't need both sides. What I'm saying is, when you look at the history, same thing happened under Lovie Smith. We drafted multiple Hall of Fame players. We sent guys to the Hall of Fame. And when you can draft a guy with that level of talent, better than everybody else of his peers, and you give him an opportunity, I agree, and you give him some decent training and a decent scheme, sky's the limit. We're not finding those gems. Let's just tell the truth. We're not coming out, and everybody wasn't a first round pick. All of those guys, a few of those guys, William Perry, a few of those guys were first round picks. A lot of those guys were in the middle of the draft.
There were 14 rounds back then, and like 4 fewer teams. So let's actually bring it to the modern era. Let's talk about Lovie Smith.
But nonetheless, how many teams stunk it up forever? Even when you go to the Lovie Smith era, there was 7 rounds, and we were getting the Lance Briggs, Peanut Tillmans, Nathan Vashers, Brian Urlachers out of college.
Should be in the Hall of Fame. Let me start here. Peanut Tillman should be in the Hall of Fame. Nobody else that you've named is a Hall of Famer. The only Hall of Famer. Oh, okay. Sorry. Urlacher, Hall of Famer. Hester, Hall of Famer. That's it. That's the only Hall of Famers we've drafted in the current era.
I said all pros and Pro Bowl.
All pros. All right. But that's what I'm saying.
And Tillman's gonna get there, man. Just give.
We also drafted. We got Jalen Johnson. We've drafted. Who was he an All Pro last year or was he not?
Pro Bowler.
Pro Bowler. Okay, he should have been an All Pro, but Pro Bowl last year. Jalen Johnson. Then there was we drafted Roquan Smith. We let him go. David Montgomery.
Pro Bowler. Goodbye. I mean, even though they didn't give him his props.
Yeah, right.
He outplayed the Pro Bowl.
And then we traded away years worth of draft picks for Khalil Mack and Justin Fields. And man, don't even get me started on whatever the Ryan Pace and his wild strategy of never having draft picks. Like that set us back, obviously. But the fact of the matter is, when we have drafted, we've hit on guys. We've hit on plenty of guys.
Right, but there's a different level of hitting. There's a level of hitting where you got we lost the Super Bowl. We lost the Super Bowl, but that we were in competition for the Super Bowl. So I'm not even mad.
When we knew that was the level of talent we had on the roster, and we had the number 1 overall pick and a young quarterback who maybe he would have been great, maybe he wouldn't have been, but we had a young quarterback who was improving every year and showing promise. And we could have traded out of the number 1 pick again and then picked up like 3 more first-round picks to take cracks at legendary talents.
Exactly, because your odds of hitting 1-1.
You didn't do it.
Your odds of hitting at 1-1 aren't any better than your odds of hitting at 110. So effectively, barely better than your odds of hitting at 120. So if you can trade out from 1-1
through 10 are way more likely to turn out All Pro.
No, I did the study. It's the same. 1-1 and 110 is no different.
The first few picks, the top 10 picks, are way more valuable. All
No,
I'm gonna say
I
is
said valuable, but the
we're
odds
spending.
of them being an all
No,
pro
I'm pretty sure they're higher.
is
I'm pretty sure
it's not much higher. It's really small. You have
Tune
to
in
go way
next week.
back in the
I will
draft before
settle
it's a
this
big deal.
debate with statistics and facts.
All right.
Now, all I'm saying is when we've had the chances to draft these guys, we've taken luxury picks instead for the last 2 years. We've drafted luxury picks at the very tippy top of the draft 2 years in a row. We've only spent one pick on a really necessary, gritty, dang, this is like a really important thing to have on your team position, and that's Darnell Wright. And lo and behold, he looks great. He's looked great since
It
he
looks
stepped on the
good.
field.
Looks good. Let's
Because
go.
he's
Looks
actually
good.
on the field every play because he's a starter at a top 10 selection. And moreover, like, he does his job. And what can you really say about that? You would like to have guys like him around him, but we don't. But we still don't. So when are we going to stop this losing philosophy? Acting like we're a franchise that we're clearly not, acting like we're in a position that we're clearly not. There are teams that have rebuilt in an offseason and looked better than us consistently since the day that Poles walked through the door. Consistent.
Well, I mean, Minnesota just rebuilt.
Minnesota just rebuilt.
Minnesota was
The
a
Texans
joke.
have rebuilt. The Colts have rebuilt. The Titans are rebuilding again in that same span. The Patriots, no, they're still rebuilding. They look terrible.
Yeah, Patriots are struggling.
Who else has rebuilt in that time? Man, I can get a list. I have to go through it right now to figure it out, but it's more than 4 or 5 teams that have done almost complete rebuilds and are now just like, yeah, let's compete. Let's compete.
Let me throw a couple stats at you. Art of trading back. Okay, we had 1-1. The art of trading back. I'm not saying these people traded back, but I'm gonna give you possibly the best Hall of Famer from round 2, each position. Pick 33, Brett Favre. Pick 34, Jack Ham. I don't even know this guy from pick 30, 35. I can't even pronounce his name. Pick 37, Chris Jones. Pick 38, Singletary. We'll go pick 40, Michael Strahan. Pick 42, Rob Gronkowski. Pick 45, Derrick Henry. These are Hall of Famers coming out of the second round. You could go on your way down the round. Yeah. So what the point is, you have to be able to identify talent that other people are missing on.
Yeah, I mean, we got Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker. They're both fantastic young players that we got in the second round.
I'm not mad at that, but we miss so much in areas that are critical. We've picked how many offensive linemen have we picked that since Ryan Pace has got here or Ryan Poles, both of them, and we've hit on one. And I'll give you 2 because I'll even say Tev was a hit because Tev was a beast until his body wore down. But you kind of knew his body was going to wear down because he had surgery coming in. So you knew it was a gamble. But I'm not going to take away his ability to play. When he was out there and he was healthy, he was a beast. He was rolling. So but how many misses? You can't miss most of the time.
Yeah.
And build a franchise. You can't. And I don't care where you draft. You draft in 5th or for Eddie Jackson was 4th round. There's a lot of phenomenal Bears
I know,
that were 4th round.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm saying specifically, like, the reason that we're missing on these picks, the reason that we're missing on these players is because we're searching for something that, like, doesn't complement what we already have. It's like you got all these Lego pieces from different Lego sets and you're trying to build one thing. It's not going to work like that.
You got to build a team. You have to be able to need the whole thing.
Yeah, you need to be able to correctly identify what you're actually after. And it doesn't take 5 freaking years to do
it. And if if you have good draft capital, I'll give Poles credit on this. We have good draft capital, but you got to do something with it.
He
You
is
got to
much
do
better
something.
at having
You
draft
got to
picks
move the
than the
needle.
last guy.
You got to move the needle. You can't keep missing.
I'm just saying, like,
if the Commanders go to the NFC Championship, we got to just say we missed. We got to say it.
Honestly, I do not want to have the Jaden Daniels conversation. That's a conversation I don't want to have because Ryan Poles didn't scout Jaden Daniels. He didn't bring him in for an interview. He didn't talk to him. He didn't watch his film. I guess I don't know the extent of the lack of due diligence he did or he didn't do on him. But he sat there the whole fucking time or the whole freaking time in the offseason when we were trying to figure out whether we were going to keep Justin or not, talk about, well, we just need to do our due diligence. We need to do our due diligence. And it looks like every quarterback in that draft class except Caleb is a baller. Why does it look like that? Why does it look like that, Ryan? I thought we were doing due diligence. I don't like this at all. I don't like where we're at. Let's talk about next week. Let's talk about the Lions. Let's hope against hope that we don't come out of this first stretch of games 0-4 because it is not going to get easier after that.
I'm terrified. Honestly, they got spanked, and if any percent of the last few years worth of Lions were is still left in that team, they're going to come out roaring, and they're going to try to dismantle us. And they have a roster.
They're not like particularly enamored with facing their old coach, who they view as like a blood traitor or something for coming across division line. So,
and they just come off getting spanked. I mean, getting embarrassed. They're dangerous. One of two things happens. One of these two teams is on its way down, is starting 0-2 and really, really embarrassed and also exposed. One of these two teams is going to turn their season around.
Yeah, we're gonna walk into the Lions den next. Is that home or away? Actually,
it's there.
Just away. That's even worse. So
we're going there.
So we're away.
We better have JJ and we better have Kyler.
God, we really need them. We really need them.
We better.
We got them. We got the Cowboys after that. And then we got the Raiders. And then it's the rematch with the Commanders. And the Raiders.
Dude, we could start off 0-5. The Cowboys hung with the Eagles.
The Cowboys hung with the Eagles. The Raiders just took out the Patriots. I didn't think the Patriots were going to be that good, but the Raiders looked competent doing it. Like, they didn't look like they were going to throw the game back at any point. So, kudos to them. That's going to be a winnable game. But it might be the only chance we have to not walk into the Commanders game 0-3 or 0-4.
Yeah, we don't, and it's possible. It's possible. If we play football like we did this weekend, I see us at walking into Commanders winless. You know,
and then we've got the Saints after the Commanders, and then we got the Ravens. This schedule is not going to be
either Ben Johnson is going to do a much better job of calling plays. The defense is going to play 60 minutes, not 45. And we're gonna scheme in our tight ends that we, spend everything on. If we're gonna spend everything on them, they should get 10 balls a game between the two of them. Give them the ball.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we should be. They should be getting 12 to 13, 14, 15 balls a game.
Give them the ball. Give them the ball. You went all
that's
in.
The thing. When you pay a tight end $40 million or $50 million or whatever it is, and you draft another one top 10, and you have a top 10 wide receiver, in Rome Odunze and a highly paid wide receiver in DJ Moore and a second overall pick, or not second overall, but second round pick in Luther Burden.
And a quarterback that misses
and a quarterback that can't hit them when they are open, which they're open a lot.
Wide.
I'll say this for the play calling, it was a lot of open receivers that he missed. A lot of them.
It was a lot. Wide
all
open.
through the defense.
Again, I'm going to say it one more time. Bajan doesn't lose that game.
You can't.
Bajan is not inaccurate.
It's one thing to like look at a guy and be like, is he really open? It's another thing to be like, dag, he's wide open, and then just miss. And then the next one you miss.
DJ Moore didn't get that touchdown. DJ Moore was high school open, not college open. He was high school open.
It was nobody
trying to figure out what is the defense doing.
Just put the ball on his chest. Just put it on his chest. You
don't have to be very accurate. Just get it in the vicinity. Just get it in the vicinity. Get it in the vicinity.
Just throw him the ball.
Touchdown.
Look, all I'm saying is, like,
and it wasn't just one pass. If it was just one pass, then we're whining.
Yeah, one pass. You wouldn't hear me saying
pass after pass after pass was atrocious.
Yeah, so we're walking a fine tightrope going into the Lions next week. Because
is the tightrope right here?
At the end of it is. It is. At the end of the day, it's a must-win game for us. For our season to have any kind of positive outcome, we have to be able to walk into the Lions' house and beat them.
Pull the teeth out. Pull the teeth out the line.
If we can't do that, you really think we're going to walk this gauntlet of Cowboys, Commanders, Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Eagles, Packers? Like, you really think we're 49ers? You think we're going to walk that gauntlet if we can't beat the Lions, who we know intimately and play twice a year?
Hey,
I don't think
you know what? It's scary.
Yeah, so we need to win this game. We need to come out and fight these Lions tooth and nail. We need to come out with a dub. I need to see passes on time and accurate. I need to see receivers that are doing their job. They've been doing them. Like, honestly, I got no issue with the receivers. I need to see the tight ends getting the usage that their status deserves and providing the impact that you would expect from said usage. I need to see the running backs being utilized more effectively, because what the heck was that? I didn't see no Monungai. I didn't see no Roshan Johnson. We were using DJ Moore at running back, and he almost freaking lost his neck on the field.
Yeah, that's not a good plan. Hey, so Brandon gives us this. He says Moore needs 3 TDs and Loveland needs 2 for us to come out on top, along with we need to shut down Gibbs and Montgomery. Well, if that happens, man, we're going to be so crazy excited. It's going to be nuts.
I love 5 touchdowns.
I love the vibe.
Let's go.
It's got to be a totally different team that showed up this weekend.
Yeah.
It's got to be a totally different attitude. That team was flat. That I don't understand how you can have all year to prepare for this home opener in your division and just lay an egg. Man, just drop it.
Yep. So
hey,
let's put this in a box. It was week 1. Anything can happen week 1. Teams aren't used to each other. Coaches are new. They're getting used to their responsibilities and the players they have. Let's just chalk this all up to week 1 and come out fresh next week. And with a week 1 attitude.
Man, all right. I'm gonna try to have a good attitude all week. I'm gonna try. Hey, you know what they was teasing me at work. You know what they said at work?
What?
They said, "Where were you all day, man? You know, when the Bears win, we see you all the time. You be finding people. Bears lose, nobody can find you."
I bet.
He said, you was hiding. That was my Packers fan. I was like, I didn't want to see you, man. I
It's like
want to
being
see
a
you.
fan against being from those teams that Jordan used to beat up on in the '90s. You come back around, and it's like, yeah, what were you saying? But now we're on the other side of that.
We
We're
are. We are.
like the John Starks fans and stuff like that.
We are.
Yeah.
Well, hey, straight up, I'm Uncle.
I'm straight up nephew.
I'm straight up son.
And we're talking Bears.
And thanks to
Bear
everybody who's
down.
watching along. We're doing this live thing. It seems to be working. You know, I'm liking the engagement we're getting. Thanks for everybody who's watching along, commenting, talking to us with it. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. You know, keep those numbers going. And man, we're gonna roll through this. You know, no matter how the season turns out, you know, we always 10 toes down. So
Yep, we'll be back live next Tuesday.
Even when we get
Bears.
whooped, we're still fighting.
We put it in a box. You can't say that right now. It's in a box.
You're right.
Yeah,
We gotta open the
can't-
box next
We're in
Sunday.
this Pandora's box now. We done with this box. That one gets
It's in the
thrown.
litter box.
Right.
Put that one
All right,
straight in
y'all.
the thumb. All right.